Inside football, business moves fast. And when you need funding, there's no time to wait. At Fleximize, we keep things simple. No penalties, no red cards, just fast, flexible business loans. We only ask for the essentials and you'll get a decision within 24 hours. Once approved, the funds are in your account the same day. Fleximize, let's fund your goals.
Hello and welcome back to Matchday Live, streaming on X, YouTube, Facebook and Town TV. Proudly brought to you by our headline digital partner, Fleximize, the UK's award-winning lender offering fast, flexible business loans. Tonight, under the lights at the CBS Arena, Ipswich Town take on Coventry City. The Sky Blues still sit top of the table and have enjoyed a strong start to the season. But when Kieran McKenna's side met Frank Lampard's earlier this month, Town secured a 3-0 victory and will be hoping for a similar performance this evening. Coming up on the show, we'll bring you highlights from the Boxing Day clash at the Den, a rewind of today's reverse fixture. We look back at one of Town's most memorable goals, which took place on this day in 2001. And we'll have a chat with club ambassador Simon Milton, who's hosted a fan watch-along today at Portman Road. And as always, we want to hear from you, wherever you're watching from. Share your thoughts and predictions in the live chat, or use the hashtag TownTV to be featured on the show. Good evening, Town fans. I hope you are enjoying the festive football this Christmas. We have got a cracker of a show for you this evening. Alongside me, we have two former Blues in the shape of Cole Scouse and making his Town TV debut, Tommy Smith. How are you? Great to have you here.
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Cole, did you have a nice Christmas?
Too good, Curly, to be honest. Very, very nice. We went to the in-laws this year and they had unbelievable hosts. So it was a really, really good time.
Now, as former players of the club, people would expect for you to have a nice quiet Christmas at the in-laws, but you're actually still both heavily involved in football still. Tommy, you're still playing in the National League, although not quite fit yet, but how's life at Braintree Town?
Yeah, not bad. Obviously, it's nice and local down the road, so it's easy enough to get to. We're struggling a little bit just outside the relegation zone, but hoping that the next run of fixtures we can get out of there.
Cole, I love our non-league catch-ups. We're going to talk more about it a bit later on, but the festive period been very busy for yourself?
Yeah, it has. And before we jump onto ourselves, I know he was always one of the smartest that I ever played with. Timing's perfect. Christmas off. Well played, Tommy. Yeah, we did have a busy period. Very fortunate in the sense that games fell Saturday to Saturday this year, so it's Boxing Day off. The game was on the 27th. We had a nice local derby away to Sudbury, which we were victorious in, so it's a really good weekend for us. Yeah,
great news. There was no days off for Town players, though. On Boxing Day, they travelled to the Den and came back to Portman Road with a valuable point.
Well, here come the players of Millwall and Ipswich as the Blues hope to deliver one final Christmas gift to the Blue Army, who have travelled in good number to South East London. And now Millwall will have it back. Work down the line for Jake Cooper, who's advanced, and Cooper delivers in. Chance for Ivanovic, saved by Walton. Doughty with the corner from the far side, in it comes, and it's a great save from Walton to deny Caleb Taylor, who rose. O'Shea, Cayusta, just outside the box, onto his left foot, goes for goal, and just blasts over Jens Cayusta. Good chance for him. Mitchell, Langstaff controls it nicely, just tries to lift this one towards Negley, and Ivanovic fancies a shot at goal, and he almost caught Walton out. Dive down low whilst moving backwards, and in the end makes the save. McAteer released down the right side, approaching the touchline, cutting it back towards Adon, who was meeting that, but it's scrambled clear. Huster making a run from midfield, but Philogene instead plays it out to Davis. Davis can't link up with Philogene, but it runs through to Akpom, and then will the loose ball drop from Philogene inside the box here. Philogene, he's got options, red shirts, and he goes for goal himself, and Akpom involved again with some bright play. He's looked sharper since coming on. Kipre Lovely ball to Waller Egley right side. Waller Egley towards the penalty area, goes for goal, goes for the near post. Has just held him up slightly, but he's into the box now. Davis on the overlap. Clark inside the penalty area towards Akpom, who stretches but can't reach it. And Brian turns it out and behind. Davis tries to turn it back into the box, and Caleb Taylor will look to carry it forward. He's got Kipray snapping at his heels. He's got support from Negley, and he's played it through to Negley. And has the flag stayed down? Negley is round Walton, but the flag has now gone up.
I'm not sure, Glenn. The flag's up, so it's definitely not a goal.
Ballo, and Ballo gets there first, and before he can clear away, the full-time whistle blows. And for the first time this season, we have witnessed a 0-0 at the Den.
I wonder if Westy has made his mind up yet on that disallowed goal at the Den. So it ended goalless. Guys, how do you reflect on a point away at the Den, Tommy?
Always a good result, getting a point away from home, but it's a game that they're probably slightly disappointed not to get 3 points in.
Yeah, and as for you, Cole, you've seen it, you watched it. What was your assessment of the game?
Like Smudge has said, you always respect a point away from home, especially against a side that are doing so well this season. Their home form for Millwall's been incredibly strong. In terms of the breakdown of the game as such, it was a bit of a flat performance from both sides, I think. There wasn't many really clear-cut chances. Game probably spent most of his patches in the middle third of the pitch. But like I said, going back to my original point, you have to respect a point away from home. Yeah,
Tommy, in those games, as former players yourselves, when you can assess how it's going throughout the 90 minutes, is it one of those football cliches where if you can't win the game, don't lose it?
Absolutely, yeah, and they controlled the game for large periods with the possession stats back that up. And it's one of those where they just couldn't quite break down a resolute Millwall defence, who are obviously, as Scusi alluded to, doing very well themselves this season. So they don't concede many goals, especially at home. So it was always going to be difficult to break them down. But as you say, it's important when you do face problems trying to score goals that you don't leak them at the back. And it's always nice to get a clean sheet.
It's another point on the road, and it's a point against a team that in and around the playoffs. And on that day, only Bristol City and Coventry were successful in getting 3 points. Just how much can we take from that? So we haven't really lost ground on exactly Middlesbrough, who are directly above us.
Again, huge. So you've made a great point in a sense. If you're not going to win the game, don't lose it. It's a massive point. That could be 2 months down the line. It could be 3 months. Could be the latter part of the season where you're going. That's a really, really big point against a side that are going to be in around it. I think due to their resilience at home, especially they're a tough nut to crack. But again, it's a little bit of you can try and drain all the positives out of it, rolling into a tough fixture this evening and be like, this was a really good patches in this game at Millwall. You can drag all the positives from that, leading into what will hopefully be another positive result and performance this evening.
Is that the difference between the mindsets between the players and the fans? Because you always get it, fans on social media will be going, well, it's a game we should have won, but where the players will take the positive from it, as Cole says, and go in tonight's game going, it's a tough place to go, as we all know. So is that the difference, do you think?
Yeah, and you're always only another couple of days away from another game in this time of year. So that will probably have been forgotten now already, and all the thoughts would have been on, ever since the final whistle the other day, would have been on this big game now. Obviously against a very tough opposition, who we actually gave a really good beating to a few weeks ago. So they'll be looking to get a little bit of revenge for that as well.
Yeah, it was a game that didn't have any goals, but it is a clean sheet for Town, and no thanks to Christian Walton. We'll have a look at some of the saves that he made in that game just now. But again, we've said it time and time here on Town TV. Obviously, since he's come in, he's done a fantastic job, hasn't he, Cole? And he's been rewarded with his consistency, as Alex Palmer, who is back fit, has got to wait his turn now to get that number 1 jersey back.
Yeah, it's a great position for Kieran to be in a sense that you've got 2 first-choice goalkeepers. He's a great character as well, a lovely, lovely fella, Christian, lovely fella, and he almost mirrors his off the field he just seems so composed. He looks to put everyone else around him at ease. He's incredibly consistent, and he's throwing deserve his slot inside at the minute, I think.
11 shots from Millwall, 6 on targets. That just goes to show how busy he was on Boxing Day. So like we said earlier, that point looks really good now.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, like we said before, Millwall are a really good team themselves, so they're always going to test him in goal. But I think he's dealt with his situation really well. Had to be patient, but since he's been in the team, he's been really, really good, really consistent, and given confidence to the defenders in front of him.
Yeah, speaking of confidence, how much does that give players in the back four, knowing what they've got behind them, how good not just he is as a shot stopper, but he's improved so much with his feet as well, just how we like to play out from the back.
Yeah, and it's a big part of the modern game. It really, really is. So you'd have some goalkeeping coaches will say it's the absolute peak. You need to be really good with your feet, regardless of what sets of gloves you got on your hands. I think his all-round game's top, and it's proven in his career. Really, he's a top goalkeeper, and one that I think can play at the very top. Again, personality comes alongside it. He's just like I said before, he seems so composed. Now, Will, of course, you can ask Smudge, who's been at the heart of the defence, to have that sort of reassurance and composure and the confidence in what you've got behind you. It made him look a top player.
Another one of those positives from that game was the return of Wes Burns, and as former players, I'm sure you know what it's like to come back from injuries. Just how much of a confidence boost does that give him and the squad around him? Because the personality of Wes as well is absolutely infectious and brilliant to have in the changing room. Yeah,
I feel like he's probably got a massive sense of relief, first and foremost, for getting back after such a serious injury. I was actually at the game where he played for the under-21s to get a few minutes under his belt, and you could see he was gradually feeling his way back into things, and it'll be great to have him back in the squad to contribute the way we all know he can. He's obviously a very direct threat. Goals, assists is what he'll bring to the team, so I'm sure he'll be almost like a new signing for this group.
Yeah, it's great to have Wes back in the squad. And after that game against Millwall, Town TV's Jacob Henderson caught up with him to see how he felt after his first game back.
Wes, really good to see you back out there. You just had your run in post-match, so you're breathing a little bit, but how did it feel?
No, it's great to be back, obviously. It's been a long time. We're just shy of 11 months, really, since surgery, so I'm delighted to be back amongst it.
What was going through your head, heading into this game, travelling with the squad, even being back at the hotel, staying overnight, that kind of thing must be really good.
No, it's nice, obviously, like I said, it's really delighted to be back with the lads, although over Christmas, everyone kind of thinks I don't want to travel on Christmas Day and things like that, but honestly, I couldn't wait to get back involved with the lads, and like you said, just being in the hotel with everyone yesterday, being around the lads has been brilliant.
Just having a short spell at the end of the game there, how does it feel afterwards?
No, it's great, and he feels really, really good, so that's a positive to take from it. Obviously today we probably wanted to come in and take 3 points, but I think it's a tough place to come, especially on Boxing Day. Thought the lads dug in well, fought till the last whistle, and we build from it going into Monday.
Brilliant reception from the fans as well, travelling fans, even when you were out warming up.
Yeah, no, it's amazing to see obviously so many travel on Boxing Day. I know it's a period where a lot of people don't have a lot of time to spare because obviously they're with families and stuff. So hats off to everyone that travelled, and I can't thank you enough for the the reception that you gave me, even just warming up. So I'm really thankful.
Always a good time to return, of course, but busy period, is that going to be important, do you think?
Yeah, I think today's highlights how important utilising the squad's going to be. Obviously everyone's going to have a part to play, even myself. Boss has already said it, there's 4 games coming up in really, really quick succession, so everyone's going to have minutes to play and a part to play, so everyone needs to be switched on and ready to go.
Good to see you back out there, Wes.
Thank you very much, cheers.
Yeah, excited to see how Wes progresses in 2026. Now, before Christmas, I had the pleasure of hosting the darts challenge for Ipswich Town. It was a 9-dart showdown between Sindra Waller-Egley, Alex Palmer and the skipper, Dara O'Shea. Let's see who came out on top. Welcome to the Ipswich Town 9-dart challenge. Highest score wins, game on. 1. No score. We got there 2-1, so that's 2. Cheddars is underneath the dartboard, so that's 7. Treble 5. No score again.
I have some disappointed friends now.
That's alright.
15 and 7, you say, yeah? 22, no?
Yeah, that's it.
That's 24.
And you got 15, 7 and a 2.
Oh, just got 2-1.
Yeah, questioning my maths. Don't blame her. Sindra scored 47. Up next, Alex Palmer. You're good with your hands though, so surely you must be able to hit the target.
Depends who you ask.
20. No score.
What's that? 20, it's 40. Should I start going 19s just to make it interesting?
Yeah, double 3 for extra points. Not bad, that race, mate. Very consistent. 5.
That's new, though, isn't it?
126.
Carnage, isn't it?
I will actually hit you.
And it will be on purpose as well.
What would be your walkout song? What would you come out to?
Eminem. What's it called? The Palms Are Sweaty. What's that one?
The 8 Mile one.
Yeah, 8 Mile one, yeah. My nickname was Sweaty Palm.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. Zombie.
Zombie, yeah.
Oh no, outside the ring, that one. Okay.
40.
40. Definitely not using a calculator, are you?
Oh no. 20 in there.
That's
No, 22.
Well, there you go, the 9 dart challenge. I've never been so nervous trying to add up scores. My GCSE and maths did not come into play there. And commiserations to Ryan Meikle as well, obviously a Town fan who's been playing at the World Darts Championship. Unfortunately got knocked out this afternoon, but no doubt he'll have a big 2026. Now, before we move into the new year, we're going to do a little game with our guests here in the studio, pick out some of their key moments from the season so far in this half of the championship. You've both got a whiteboard, so what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. You should jot it down on the whiteboard and then we'll have a quick chat about it. Understand?
Yeah, let's go.
Thank you. Game on. I think we've got some little Christmas music as well to play along as well. Okay, guys, so the first question is going to be, who has been your player of the season so far in the championship? It's a tough one, as we're only halfway through the year. Lovely little Christmas jingle in the background there just to do it. Okay, I can see that you've both gone for the same player there. Cole, you've gone for? Yeah, reveal them up. Yeah, reel them up.
Might not be big enough to see.
You might have to hold your mics as well, guys, so we can hear you nice and loud. So you've gone for Jaden?
Yep, apologies. I'll write bigger. I've gone for Jaden.
Oh, same. For the great minds. Great minds think alike.
Well played.
Showing my spelling prowess.
Yes, well played.
No extra
Hopefully I've got
points
it right.
for spelling. Right, the next one, guys, is who do you think's been the signing of the season as we started the new campaign? Now, it could be a January transfer window signing as well, but who do you think has been a key role for Town so far this season? And of course, you can play along at home in this exciting Christmas game. Let us know in the chat. You can use the hashtag TownTV as well, of course. Cole, you've got your mic first, so let's see who you've gone for.
Yes, I'm going to go through for sheer consistency. I've been really, really impressed with performances over the start of the season.
Darnell Furlong.
Yes.
Yes, very solid. Tommy?
I've gone for the Norwegian sensation.
Yeah, the Norwegian sensation, Sinjot Waller-Egley, who has been unreal this season as well.
I just feel like as a young player coming into the league, he's found his feet really quickly. He's getting really comfortable and looking a better player week in as the weeks go by. I've been really impressed with him.
Yeah, and he starts tonight, I believe, Sinjot Waller-Egley, so we can expect some exciting performance from him this evening at the CBS Arena. Right, the next one. Who do you think's been Town's toughest opponent this season in the championship? Team, yeah. I think there could be some biasness there from Cole. You've written yours down, Cole, so let's go to you first. What have you gone for?
Bristol City.
Yeah? Do you care to explain why? Was it the hat they gave you at the start of the season?
It might have been the legacy cap I received before the game.
I thought so.
No, honestly, I was at the game. I watched the game, and I actually thought Ipswich were fortunate on evening to get the draw.
Yeah.
I thought Bristol City performance was very, very good. So yeah, I'm going for. There's no bias attached.
No.
It's not the fact I'm from Bristol. Really, really like.
Yeah.
Bristol City.
And that hat's somewhere in your house somewhere. Tommy.
So I've got different reasons. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no
I've
worries.
got some different reasons. I've gone for Norwich, not because of the performance Norwich put up, but for the build-up to the game, the history behind the not beating them for 16 years, and turning up on the day and turning them over good and proper. So in terms of the difficulty of dealing with that pressure going into that game, I've gone for that.
I like that. Extra points for working out. That's a really good analogy.
You're really good at this game.
And you've gone for heart over head, which is disappointing. I expected more from you there, Cole. Okay, a nice one here. A player to watch in 2026. Who do you think is going to have a brilliant second half to the season? Interesting. Yeah, I like it. Go on then, Cole. Cinderella Egley.
Yeah. And largely off the back of what Smudge has already said, in the sense that coming across, brand new league, young of age, having to adapt to loads of little context wrapped around it. Look, he's shown glimpses of what he can do. I think with a little bit more time, I think he's going to be an absolute star. I really do.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Tommy?
I've gone for Wes Burns.
Yeah, I like this.
As we alluded to before, obviously after a long, serious injury out, to have him now back in the squad at a crucial part of the season, it's going to be like having a new signing, and I'm sure he'll be as enthusiastic as ever to make a mark on the season and hopefully kick on and contribute with goals and assists in the leading.
Absolutely love that. Right, this should be an easy one, I think. I know what mine is. Favourite town goal this season in the Championship? We've been fortunate enough to have some screamers. We've had some set pieces that have gone down really well. Looking through the archive in your head there, Cole, you look deep in concentration. Right. Tommy, you've got yours open first, so let's have a look. Jack Clark, you've gone for.
Jack Clark, Norwich, sealing the game, and I don't think much more needs to be said there, obviously, after, like I said, 16 years without a win against Norwich, to seal a win is just the one that stands out for me as like that relief moment of seeing the game out.
Yeah, fantastic reason. Cole, you've finally
I've almost
found
jumped
one.
on that. I've struggled, to be honest, Curly, with that one.
Yeah?
Really have. So I've jumped on that. The sort of seal breaker as such against Norwich. Kiprees. So that's first goal for the club as well? Was it? First goal in the derby?
Yeah.
So I've gone for that one.
Okay.
I struggle with that one, to be honest.
Didn't think Jaden Philogene left foot wonder strike. What was the reason for not picking that?
Just stumped, to be honest.
Well, hopefully you're not stumped for the final question, as it's a bit more closer to home for both of you. Now, throughout your career, who has been the best player you have played with or against? Is there a name that pops to mind? And you can't say each other. Again, let us know in the chat who you think the guys will be saying for this answer. And your favourite town moments, of course, throughout 2025, as we look into the 2026 season in the Championship. 2 against. I don't mind that. What I've seen on that board, that needs explaining quickly. That's top trumped everything. We'll forget about yours. Yours are good. Yeah, quickly, just yours are.
So, I played with David James straight after a World Cup in 2010. Top player, coming toward the latter part of his career. So playing with in their prime, I've gone for David McGoldrick.
Yeah.
Didsy was
Didsy.
top.
Like it.
Top player. Playing against, I thought mine would have been the best answer this evening. Really, really good player. Luis Suarez. Had the pleasure of playing against Luis Suarez. He's not a bad player. He's had a decent enough career. That's almost been rubbish.
Yeah, you could scrub yours out.
His.
Tommy, explain where when you played with these two or against.
Well, I wish I played with them.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I played
them.
against both of these, and I mean, I've been fortunate in my career to play for New Zealand in some big games and some big tournaments, and I've played against Cristiano Ronaldo in the 2017 Confederations Cup and against Neymar in the Olympics. And
did you get any of their shirts?
I didn't, unfortunately. I was in the drug testing room with Cristiano after the game.
Oh,
and
so you
I
got a
asked
wee
him,
next to Cristiano
Yeah. And no, it's just as impressive in person. But no, Neymar on the day, though, was just a different class. You know, you knew about his reputation in the lead up to it, could not get near him. Tried everything, he tried putting one on him, but he's so nimble and quick of thought that he doesn't even let himself get in a position to get nailed. And yeah, it was just a day where they went 3-0 up in the first half, I think, and it could have been anything, but they just took their foot off the gas and enjoyed the game, and we didn't get another touch of the ball after that.
That is unbelievable. Yeah, you've definitely trumped Cole on that
Sorry,
one.
Scousy.
No problem there. Right, whilst we're filming live here in the studio in the Three Lions Lounge, club ambassador Simon Milton is hosting a watch-along event, and earlier on, I caught up with the town legend.
Simon, we're here in the Three Lions Lounge. What's happening this evening?
So it's a really good idea. I think it's the first time that we've ever done it. It's corporate customers and fans have the opportunity to come into the Three Lions, watch the game on Sky. I've got myself, Brian Hamilton, Mick Stockwell, Aaron Lee, Carlos Edwards, Johnny Wall, all coming in, and we're going to do like a bit of a preview show, and then we're going to give us our thoughts at half time, and then again at the end of the game. So something completely different, but as you can see, there's a lot of people taking up on it.
How important is it that the club speak to their fans and get involved with things like this, just to show that true connection that we have in this football club?
I mean, and we see that every game because a team of us go around to all the corporate areas, all the pre-match tours. So you're sort of mixing with the customers, every single game. Game days are the best days. People work all week, but when the team are at home and you've got a big crowd coming, in the stands and also in the corporate areas, it's really a good opportunity for all of the commercial staff to go and meet our clients and spend time with them, and obviously see some decent football as well. So really important.
You have an array of town legends that are always here on a match. Just how great is that for the fans to see these legends, and then for the older fans to show their young children like what players we used to have at this football club?
Yeah, absolutely. And we also, on a match day, we bring different people as a special guest. So we have a match day team, as I said to people before, and we've got just about every generation covered. I think there's about 1,500 games. If you added all the players together, loads and loads of goals, loads of cups, loads of international, and all of these things are the types of things that the fans remember. They remember the 70s, they remember Bobby Robson's time, they remember the 81 UEFA Cup, the FA Cup, and then promotion for the Premier League 92, and then the 2000 Wembley, and we've got people from all of those generations. So it's a really good team. It really adds value on that.
And finally, for you, how much does it mean to play such a huge role at this football club still?
Yeah, I mean, this is with my life. I joined this club in '87, so I've come up for 50 years, and it's just been a massive part of my life. And on the field, I love my time here as a player, absolutely love it. But I've also loved being involved off the field and coming to the matches, going to some away games as well, and working with the former players. Our association is going from strength to strength, and it's really nice to work with the committee who run our association and keep welcoming different players back all the time. But personally, yeah, it's just fantastic to be involved. I love it.
Nils, have a great evening. Please back for 3 points.
Absolutely. Take care.
Great work from Simon Milton as ever, and the legends that are involved in tonight's watch-along. Cole, just how important is it to have these figureheads that have been at the club for so long, still involved with the day-to-day running and work at this football club?
Huge, and he was one of the first I met when I arrived in Ipswich, Milt. Someone that's been there an awfully long time, knows the ins and outs of the town, not just the football club, the town. So he was so helpful in my transition as a family, moving from Bristol into a town that we didn't really know in terms of where to move to, schools for your kids, restaurants to go and eat, dog walks. As finer details as that, Milt was absolute gold dust. To have him attached to the club alongside people like Matty Holland, Mickey Stockwell, Alan Lee, Carlos Edwards, all these people as well on match days. So important because they've been through it and they've sort of lived the life of the club as such. So, and it's not a given across all clubs, it isn't. Not all clubs, you'd think that it would be a relatively simple fix. It isn't. Not all clubs have it in place, and Ipswich do it incredibly well.
Yeah, Tom, is that something that you'd be interested in getting involved with, spending more time here at Portman Road? You had a fantastic career here. When you do eventually decide to hang up the boots, because I know how desirable playing at Braintree Town is at the minute.
Yeah, and I've actually done a couple of games this season with Milch, going around the different corporate areas, and it's something I really enjoy doing. You get to talk to a lot of the fans, and it's always good sharing the good moments that we had together, obviously me as a player and the fans cheering us on back in the day. And it's something that I'm going to do more of this season as and when time allows, but I enjoy spending time with Milch as well, as Scooch's alluded to. He's a real top person first and foremost, and for the club to have secured him as the sort of figurehead for that ex-player panel is a real testament to the club.
Well, when you can, we'd love to have you on Town TV again, that's for sure, I can tell you that. Speaking of former players, on this day in 2001, Fernindi George scored a spectacular goal in a 5-0 thrashing against Sunderland. Let's take a look at that magical goal. So, lads, we spoke of this off air. Finindi George, who the older football fan, especially myself as well, I put myself in that bracket, remember him from the Ajax days. But when a player produces a goal like this, Cole, you can understand why it stays in the memory of football fans of this club for so long.
No, you can, and George didn't look so happy with the goal there. He celebrate along with him.
There's a bit of a slap there.
But it really is. And this almost goes back, when I'm talking about one of the best players I played with, we're talking about, I know this is Finidi's goal here, but David McGoldrick could produce bits like that, and Smudge will vouch for this daily. And it does, it sticks in your mind. And that is, I can remember that goal, albeit from Bristol, being a Bristol City fan, that goal I can remember so vividly. I can remember seeing it on the TV. Incredible finish, incredible finish.
Tommy, how do you rate that finish? As a defender, should someone have been picking him up, or are you wondering how he's got through like that?
Oh, listen, sometimes you just have to hold your hands up and say it's a magnificent finish. And what a player he was for the club. He was one of those sort of statement signings when the club made it into the Premier League that time around. And he's one of those players that excited the crowd and got you off your seat. And the reason why many people go to watch football is to watch moments like that by players like that.
Yeah, from a moment of genesis here at Portman Road to a fanatical finish here when we took on today's opponents, Coventry City, early in December actually, so not that long ago, and we run out 3-0 winners. Let's look at some of the goals from that game.
The runaway league leaders are in town this afternoon as Ipswich host Coventry City here at Portman Road. Here's Kesler Hayden, Redoni trying to spot the run of Eccles inside the penalty area. Eccles into the side netting. Kesler Hayden to deliver from the right side towards Kitching. Hurst wins the initial header. Now Bobby Thomas just tries to backheel that back. Shot comes in and it hits the post.
Thought Walton got down to it. I'd like to see the replay if he touches it, but it rattles into the post. Yeah, it's a great touch. Great touch.
Matasiwa does well to win it ahead of Kesler Hayden. Now can he find Philogene? Philogene cutting it back, and it's through a few legs, back to Waller Egley. Davis now right side, lifting it. Philogene still inside the penalty area. Back to Waller Egley now. It's Waller Egley, it's in the bottom corner. It's a brilliant finish from the Norwegian. It looked like the chance had gone. Here's Redoni trying to cross in. O'Shea, I think, might have just lost his footing, but whilst on the floor he manages to head away, and then Nunez has played it over the top. Hurst is onside because he was inside his own half. This Hurst is a huge shot. It Hurst is through! George Hurst racing away. Looking for Kesler Hayden, he rises, back post. Sims can't link up with Thomas, and then Redoni trying to curl it into the far corner. Again, another magnificent save from Christian Walton. Tries to help it across to Kai Andrews, but Furlong, again another consistent performance from him. Heads it into Clark, and Clark is away from Grimes, and Clark is feeding it into Ivan Adon, and Adon is bearing down into the penalty area, trying to square it across to Schmolix. Drops from Adon, Adon makes it 3! The icing on the cake! The final whistle blows. What a performance from Ipswich Town.
A statement victory from the Blues as we head in tonight's reverse fixture against Coventry. The league leaders of the Championship, they don't look like slowing down. I think a lot of Town fans after that game thought, right, we can really kick on now and get a few good results. It hasn't quite gone like that, but how much confidence can we take going into tonight's game following that performance?
Yeah, well, it was a massive sort of statement victory at the time. You know, the season hadn't been going as everyone thought it would from the start. But that was sort of the kickstart moment that made us really sit up and take notice of this team and really think that they can go on and gain promotion. Obviously, there's a long way to go until then, with stern tests to come, but it shows that we can beat the best teams in the division.
With that result only happening earlier this month, does it favour the home side or the away side? Have they now got a point to prove? They'll want to try and get one over on us? Or on our side of it, we sort of have proven that we can beat you? You might be running away with it, but we can beat you.
Again, both sides are attached, aren't they? You can look at it either way, really. I think, like I said, going back to the Millwall fixture, you're trying to drain all positives and every little bit you can out of that fixture, taking it to another tough away fixture. I think psychologically, Coventry, as much as they were saying, look, we'd love to get them back on them, I think Ipswich have the upper hand. I really do, in the sense that Coventry showed a lot of their hand. They brought the game to Ipswich. Ipswich absorbed as much as they could, and then the threats they carry going forward. You look at the starting team, as I'm sure we'll come on to shortly. The threats at the top end of the pitch for Ipswich this evening, I think, will still carry huge dangers to Coventry.
Yeah, it's set up to be a cracking game. Not only are they top of the table and flying, they've scored 54 goals this season. And on the flip side, we're joint with them for the best defensive record, I think, as well as Preston. I think it's 23 goals we've conceded. So it's going to be a real tactical but also exciting game, you'd expect.
Yeah, two really exciting managers as well. Obviously, Frank's obviously got them going really well this season. Kieran, obviously, we know all about how well he adapts his teams to different situations, and it's going to be a bit of a tactical battle as well. Like you say, Coventry will have reflected on the game a few weeks ago and used that as motivation to try and get one over. Whereas Ipswich obviously have the confidence of beating them. So the mental challenges of it as well is a really intriguing one.
Yeah, you touched upon at the top end of the pitch, we've got a lot of threat going forward. We've scored 8 in our last 9 away matches. So that's something that we can really get hold of and take in tonight's game, knowing that we can cause problems at the top end of the pitch.
I think so. And I think it's going to be really, really interesting this evening to see if there's any sort of adapting from Coventry's perspective. Being at home, having to probably be the side that takes the game to the away side, it'd be very interesting to see how different their approach is this evening to what it was and the reverse fixture here. But look, I'm sure we'll come on to the predictions as we always do at the end. I don't want to jump.
Don't jump the gun too early. Yeah, no. Save the good stuff.
But
for the
I
end.
think that's where, probably without stating absolute obvious, I think our top end and their bottom end is going to be game changing this evening.
And for the visitors, Luke Wolfenden, who obviously had a great career here at Ipswich Town. He was loved by the fans. Obviously, passed as new and has started the last game for Coventry City. Do you think he'll have a little bit of a point to prove? You know what it's like as an ex-player going back to an old club. But it's great to see him getting some minutes for his new club. Obviously, we want Town to win today. But for him, it will be a big occasion as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm sure it'll feel very strange for him coming up against his obviously boyhood club for the first time in his career. It will add an edge for sure. Obviously, he's a professional footballer, so at the end of the day, he's going out there to do the best job he can to try and win the game for his football team. And I think as soon as that whistle blows, he's in game mode. But leading up to it, I'm sure his emotions will be slightly strange for him. But no, looking forward to seeing him play. But hopefully, obviously, we get the right side of him tonight.
Yeah, we'll find out if Luke Wolfenden is starting for Coventry City very shortly. But first, more importantly, let's take a look at the Ipswich Town lineup for tonight's game against Coventry City. The big news is that Jacob Greaves is coming in to replace Leif Davis in defence for Town. The fullback is absent from the Matchday squad. Before we look at anything else, Cov, that's quite a big miss for us, isn't it? Because Leif and Jaden down that left-hand side have been causing a lot of problems this season.
Yeah, arguably the best in the league. That left side of Ipswich's side is arguably, like I said, the best in the league. I think he has been a very, very close second to player of the season, Leif Davis. I've seen, look, we all know what he can do and what he's produced in previous championship campaigns. Premier League's a different kettle of fish. There was sprinkles within that are really, really good. I think this season he's been top, really, really good. So for him to be missing this evening is a huge miss. But again, a great opportunity for Jacob Greaves to come back into the side.
Yeah, we have a luxury of centre midfielders at Ipswich Town, and tonight Jack Taylor comes in to the Town starting 11. Jens Kusta is an option from the bench. With those three, you could put any of those three combinations together, and we've still got a very, very solid midfield.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, probably one of the strongest midfield threes in the division to choose from. Only 2 are playing at any one time, so the competition for place is really fierce there, which can only bode well for the team as a whole. You know, they know that week in, week out, they have to be putting in top draw performances to keep their place in the team.
Yeah, there is a lot of places up for grabs in this Ipswich Town team, and they'll all be fighting for that starting jersey, and that's what Jack Clark has done tonight. He replaces Jaden Philogene, who is named on the bench. And Jack's had a real big impact coming off from the bench this season. And tonight he's rewarded again with a start. It's probably a bit of rotation as well with the legs, obviously so many games, but another player that can come on and cause a lot of problems.
And again, you'd probably, across most sides and groups within the league, you'd look at someone like Philogene coming out of the side for whatever reason it may be. Like you said, it might be a slight rest, it might be minutes he's played, exertion, all those bits. and you'd be probably looking at thinking, well, who's going to come in and maybe try and get to his levels? But you bring in someone like Jack Clark. That's an incredible replacement. That's someone that can come in and reach those levels, perform at those levels, and give you the same sort of end product.
Yeah, and it's a start for Sindrawalla Egley tonight as well at the CBS Arena. We've spoken about him at the top of the show. A very exciting young talent you feel will grow into the season. I think, Cole, we spoke about it when you were last on, that, he's coming from a new country, a new league, a new division, but he's definitely showing signs of quality, and that can only improve as the season goes on.
Absolutely, and obviously at the tender age of 19, he's only going to improve and get better the more minutes he gets and the more confidence he gets from those minutes gained. So it's really exciting to see his progression, and hopefully he's got a very high ceiling that he can hopefully achieve at Town.
Yeah, Ivan Adon as well leads the line for Town with Marcelino Nunez just behind him as well. So we've got plenty attacking options. Let's take a look at the Ipswich Town substitution. Plenty to choose from as well. Alex Palmer, we know who's had that injury, but is back now, fit, and he'll be raring to go if needed. But hopefully, we don't get any goalkeeper injuries tonight, because you don't want that. But the big one there again, Wes Burns is back, and we spoke about it a bit earlier on. It's game management, I'd imagine, as well, Cole, at this time. You know what it's like when, as a manager, you've got players coming back from injuries and things like that. It's managing the minutes, and we can't expect him to be starting any games necessarily soon, but a 10-15 minute period, if we can, and the game allows it, will really do him the benefit.
No, of course, and like Smudge touched on earlier, Wes has been part of sort of under 21 groups games here. He had been training at levels of exertion, coming back in his rehab, but you can't replicate a championship game. So if, like you said, if it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever it may be, it strides back to getting back to full fitness, and it's a great addition to have. And we spoke about this numerous times on the show, Cully. You look at the bench there, and you look at the depth, there wouldn't be many, if any, in the league that have got that kind of depth.
Yeah, we spoke about the depth of this squad a lot on Town TV, but what I want to point out there is Cameron Humphreys as well, who's hadn't had much game time at all this season, but you know what it's like to come through the system. How good is it to see him back on the subs bench for this evening's game?
Yes, it's always great to have a homegrown player in and amongst it, and hopefully he's still at an age, where he's got lots of improving to do, but Kieran McKenna obviously has trust in him, and it'll be exciting to see his development over the coming years, and hopefully he can start to get more minutes on the pitch as well.
Okay, so that is your Town starting 11. Now to look at today's host for the final time in 2025. It is the man in the know, Glenn Wheeler.
Yeah, thank you, Curly. Well, Coventry City secured their 15th league win of the season on Boxing Day as they beat Swansea City here at the CBS Arena. And manager Frank Lampard has made 2 changes to the side that started that victory. Spaniard Miguel Angel Brau makes his first league start for Coventry following his summer move from Granada as he replaces Jake Bidwell at left back. The other change sees Haji Wright preferred to Ellis Sims in attack. Defender Bobby Thomas remains out with a calf strain, and that means the Ipswich Academy graduate Luke Wolfenden makes his 3rd successive league start. Wolfenden didn't feature in the reverse fixture at Portman Road after making 215 appearances during his Town career. The Sky Blues are currently the league's top scorers, having rattled in 54 goals already this campaign. And here's a quirk. Each of the last 3 of those goals have been scored by Efron Mason-Clark. And the former Peterborough winger starts on the left today, looking to make it 4 goals in his last 4 games. On the bench, the aforementioned Bidwell and Sims are joined by the likes of Jamie Allen, Josh Eccles and Joel Latibaudiere. And top scorer Brandon Thomas Asante is still unavailable due to a hamstring injury that he sustained last month.
Glenn, thank you very much. Now, I was watching Matchday Live recently where James Anadakis asked you a question. I've got one for you. What has been your favourite moment this calendar year from the commentary booth?
Glad you asked me in the rehearsals, Curly, because I needed the time to think about this one. But then when it came to me, it was so obvious. It was beating Norwich at Portman Road in that October day, ending the hoodoo in the East Anglian derby, and specifically that 35-yard Jayden Philogene screamer. What a moment that was.
Glenn, thank you so much, and keep up the fantastic commentary that you do for this football club. You and Westy are absolutely gold dust. Right, we can now hear from the Ipswich Town skipper. Dara O'Shea has been speaking to Town TV's Howard Bloom.
Darragh, our final game of 2025, what are you expecting from it?
It's going to be a tough game against a good side who are in good form again, away from home. So yeah, it's going to be a test, something that I hope we prepared well for, and I think we have, so looking forward to it.
It's a quick turnaround from our game against Millwall. How are you and the lads feeling for it?
Yeah, good. I think there was lots of positives to take from Millwall. It was a tough game, tough place to go, and we're coming off back from another away game to this one too. So it's going to be a challenge, but we're ready.
Good memories from our last game against Coventry, and I'm sure you'll be looking to make more today.
Definitely, yeah. They're going to be right up for it, especially after the last game. Thought we did really well that day. It's going to have to be much more the same, and more again to get the right result.
What do you expect to be the key areas from the game tonight?
I think it's going to be lots of battles all over the pitch. Drills are going to be important. I think last time out, we came on top of a lot of them second balls, and that really kind of set the tone for the game. And yeah, just being sound defensively. They've got great attacking threats, so we're going to have to nullify those and keep them quiet.
Good luck tonight.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah, it is set up for a cracking night of football as Ipswich Town travel to Coventry City. Now, Cole mentioned it earlier. It's his favourite part of the show, the predictions. So before we go this evening, we'll go to Tommy first for a prediction against Coventry City this evening.
I'm going to go 2-1. I think the Coventry will try and take the game to Town, but Town will hit them on the counter-attack and score 2 goals. I think they'll go 2-0 up and they'll finish 2-1.
Love that. Cole?
Due to all the little facts that we've gone through, in terms of them scoring bundles of goals, I'm going to go for a 1-0 away win.
1-0 away win.
Yeah.
Right, we'll take either of those results tonight. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your
Pleasure,
time.
thank you.
A reminder
Thank you very
that £10 match passes are still available for international supporters in selected regions. Town TV subscribers, you'll have the beautiful commentary from Ian Westlake and Glenn Wheeler. Big thank you for your support all calendar year. We get to do it all again on New Year's Day with James Anadakis hosting the Oxford United show. And a big thank you again to our supporters and Fleximize, Town TV's headline sponsors. We'll see you all on New Year's Day. Good night.
Just like football, business moves fast. And when you need funding, there's no time to wait. At Fleximize, we keep things simple. No penalties, no red cards, just fast, flexible business loans. We only ask for the essentials and you'll get a decision within 24 hours. Once approved, the funds are in your account the same day. Fleximize, let's fund your goals.
When we started this, did we ever think we'd have a partnership with a football club? Absolutely not. This is beyond our wildest dreams. We pretty much exclusively hire graduates at Halo. We're very proud of our Suffolk roots. Halo's a pretty passionate, positive, enthusiastic place generally, but when you've also got what's going on at the football club, and it's just blending passion and enthusiasm.